Hey, good morning everyone. Today is day 80. We are walking through the town of Hanover. We're on Lebanon Street. And I just went to the post office. I got my new shoes. Check them out. It feels great. It's always nice having to look forward to new shoe day. New shoe day is like Christmas. Any hiker out there knows what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna go down and resupply the grocery store that's at the end of town. It's probably about a half a mile walk, and then I will be back on the trail. I'll eat lunch too. It's about 11:15, and I think I got up to the post office by 11 o'clock, so I left around 10:30 the motel, but feel good. Not quite sure how many miles I'll get in today. I'm just going to play it by ear. If I could, I would like to get 23 miles in. There's a nice cabin and looks like some prime tenting spots with amazing views. Somewhere up there, I forgot what mountain it's called, but it's absolutely beautiful out. Best day it's been in 5 days, so it's just really boosts the morale and the spirits. So, all right, well, looking forward to get something to eat, doing some resupply. I'm trying to figure out what my resupply options look like for the last 400 something miles of the trail. I would assume that I'll probably resupply maybe 3 more times. So usually my resupplies last for about 120 miles, but since I'm going to be slowing down the pace and doing 20-mile days, it's probably going to look like every 100 miles or so. So after today, I probably have 3 more resupplies, I would assume. So anyway, should be a great day. Gosh, I'm just loving the weather. It is so nice and uplifting. All right, well, I'll check back a little later. Hanover is just, nice city. I mean, it's a college city, so there's college students everywhere, and it's kind of crazy. They look so young. I don't remember looking that young when I was in college. Maybe I did, but anyway, lots of places to eat, lots of places to shop, things like that up here. So, but anyway, I'll see you guys on the trail. Hey everyone, we are in Holt's Ledge. One of the first views here in New Hampshire. Nice little 1,200-foot climb, and we can't see, we won't have views of the whites until we get to Mount Cube tomorrow. So when I was descending Moose Mountain, which was the mountain right before this, I don't know if you can see over my left shoulder, my trekking pole. So I was going down a really slippery rock face, and I slipped and slid. I didn't get hurt or anything, but my right trekking pole must have caught a lip of the rock, and as I felt like right on top of it, so I snapped it. So I'm down to 1 pole, which is really crummy. I am not used to hiking with 1 pole. So now this changes things. I really don't want to go into the whites with only 1 pole. Number 1, just for hiking, especially going downhill. And number 2, I need my poles to set up my tent. Now tonight I can either figure out if I can duct tape my pole, or I'll just use a stick. So I'm not really worried as much about the tent. But there's an outfitter in Franconia Ridge, which is maybe 15 miles in the whites, and the only other outfitter that I know that's close where I am is back in Hanover. So I'm going to call the hostel that I was going to stay at tomorrow, the Happy Hiker Hostel, I think is what it's called, and see what kind of services that they can offer to me, if they can bring me somewhere. I know they do
trips in town, but the town that they go to does not have an outfitter. So, and I would like to get this taken care of tomorrow because I was already planning on staying at that hostel. I really don't want to get off trail in the middle of the whites because it's going to cost me like 3 or 4 hours, and I really can't lose 3 or 4 hours. I don't want to lose 3 or 4 hours because that just means I have to hike harder, especially in the window that we have with this nice weather coming. So we'll see what happens, but just something that the old trail threw at me. All right, well, oh, looks like the trail goes this way. So I am going to probably get maybe 20 miles, just under 20 miles today. I got about 15 in right now, maybe 16, and it's 6:30. I do not want to hike past 8 o'clock, so I'll probably be just under 20 miles, but we'll see where I can find a nice stealth campsite. All right, well, I will I'll let you guys know what I figure out with this situation.
Good evening, everyone. So it's the evening of day 80 here, and we're gonna stay in a stealth spot just in this parking lot here. I'm gonna pitch my tent right over there. There's a little brook that goes through here, so I have water, and it is gosh, it's probably getting close to 8, so this is good timing. I have enough time to set up everything and get situated. But I got good news. I fixed my pole. So all I did was basically break off the very end that snapped with a rock, so that I have a round bottom that will actually be able to fit back in through the power lock mechanism. And since I have extra space in my upper part of the pole, I think I have like an extra maybe 10, 15, 20 centimeters. And actually it broke and it broke it short enough where I can actually make this whole thing work, the length both for my tent and for when I truck. I'm gonna have to be probably pretty careful. It doesn't have as much strength in the bottom or even the top one anymore, since I really have it maximized. So I might just shorten it a little and have one trekking pole that's a little shorter, and see if I can if that will make me through the way. So but I'm happy. I just thought about doing this when I was getting here. So we stopped at Bill, I think it's Eckerly's. I apologize if I pronounce his name wrong. His place, he's known as the Ice Cream Man. Unfortunately, he passed away earlier this year in 2016. I don't know how long he's been doing it, but for many, many years, he's been offering his house for hikers to relax, recharge their phones, play croquet. But he's got a big freezer out behind his porch that is stocked with ice cream, and he gives free ice cream to all the hikers. And he's got a water spigot, and I believe he also let people camp in his yard. So really cool. Here's a couple pictures of his place. And yeah, so I decided to keep on trekking on. There hasn't been very many stealth spots. I didn't want to stay at the last shelter because it just wasn't enough miles. I got about 19 miles in today, so tomorrow I got to do about 24. And now that my trekking pole is fixed, I'm not pressured to get there at a certain time, because I thought I would have to figure out a way to get into town and try to see if I can get to an outfitter. But I'm gonna see how this holds up tomorrow. So it'll be a short day tomorrow still. I'll probably get to the hostel by 4 o'clock. That's short for me, and that'll be nice. All right, well, this is going to be my last video of the night. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. This is Bigfoot signing off, day 80.
Good morning, everyone. Day 81 from the top of Lambert Ridge. Lambert Ridge is, well, it was about a 700, 800 foot climb from where I stayed last night. And we are looking just from the awesome views of the Quartzite Ridge. And we are on our way up to Smarts Mountain. We got about another 1,300 feet of climb. So, had an interesting night last night. About 12:30 or 1 in the morning, this, I don't know if it was a truck or a Jeep pulled up. I think I saw the same vehicle pass on the gravel road that I stayed off of when I was setting up my tent. But pulled up in the parking lot about 1 in the morning, and he had the you know, I'm not a car person, so I'm not sure exactly what the official vehicular term is, but the overhead lights on top of on the top of his cab or his roof, and he was literally shining them right at my tent for maybe 15 minutes. I don't know what the heck was going on. I contemplated getting out and ask him if he's got a, you know, if there's some sort of problem with me camping there or what. But yeah, 15 minutes, and he finally left, and I didn't know if he was coming back or what was going on, so I couldn't sleep for like an hour or so because I was just thinking about it. So kind of a really big douche move. So I don't know. So far my pole is doing just fine. The one that I kind of just put together last night after I snapped it. And the weather is absolutely beautiful. We have, I think it's about just under a 24-mile hike today to get to the hostel that I want to stay at. Since I don't have to worry about going anywhere or resupplying, I can take my time if I want, and that's probably what I'm going to do. So, but I'm going to enjoy these views. We got a lot of great views. I guess some of the best views so far in New Hampshire will be on Mount Cube. Of course, that's before we get into the White Mountains, but we'll actually be able to get a great view of the White Mountains. So, all right, guys, here we are looking at the White Mountains, just to the northeast of us. I think the tall one back that you see just ahead there is Mount Moosilauke, which will be at the foot today, the foot of the mountain today. And past that, you might even be able, I don't know if that is Mount Washington, that's, I don't know if you can see way off in the distance. It's probably really hard to see, but there looks like a really tall peak. And that might be it, I'm not quite sure. But it's really cool. Might be Mount Lafayette behind Moosilauke, but I don't know. Wow. These are probably some of the most outstanding views that we've had. This is the fire tower on top of Smarts Mountain. Just breathtaking views. Wow. So when we climbed up the mountain, there was, I think, a period of about a half mile. We climbed 800 feet, which is some of the steepest that I can remember lately. So, but feels good. I'm glad to be up here. Man, it's beautiful, and we have a completely clear and visible day. So I was really happy because I really wanted to see the White Mountains from here. So definitely makes it worth it. Glad we have great weather. Awesome.
Hey, good morning everyone. Today is day 82. It's a special day. Today we enter the Whites. So I stayed at the Hiker's Welcome Hostel last night. It was great. Got a great night's sleep. Slept in the bunkhouse. Rates were very reasonable. Everyone was really nice. And I stuck around for breakfast this morning. It is just after 7:30, and I am heading up to the base of Mount Moosilauke. So I hope I can get a picture of it for you guys to show you how towering that it looks. But Mount Moosilauke is the first mountain that we've seen over 4,000 feet since we got out of Northern Virginia. So it's been like 1,000 miles. So it's gonna be special. I'm excited. We are probably about 5.5 miles from the summit of Moosilauke right now. But the weather is supposed to be nice today. We're supposed to have some storms tomorrow, so tomorrow can be a wild card. But yeah, this is the part that I've been waiting for the most, and it's finally here. So my goal is to try to do 20s through the whites. We'll see. But I'm just happy I'm here. All right, well, I'll see if I can get some pictures to show you guys, and I'll see the top of the first mountain, the whites. Okay, guys, check this out. We are on the summit of Mount Moosilauke, and that is north. Far off in the distance, I believe that's Mount Washington. You might not be able to see it, but that's what we get to look forward to. Actually, the summit is just up there. Here's a picture of me at the summit. And it's just absolutely incredible. I mean, this is the way to kick off the whites. I actually feel sorry for the southbounders. They have to start with this. They get all these amazing views, and there's definitely a lot of amazing views in the first 1,800 miles, but I don't know how much they're going to compare to this. So I just think this is the right way to go, and I'm just so happy right now. And check that out. Wow, holy cow. This is what I've been waiting for. The climb up the summit was not bad at all. Not bad. I can think of probably a dozen climbs that were worse in the beginning than this. It was obviously just long because you climb 3,500 feet, but it was not steep really at all. I can't really recall any steep parts. But now coming down on the south side will be very steep. I think we descend 2,500 feet in like 1.5 miles or something like that. So that will be the challenge, but isn't that just incredible? Wow. Well, stay tuned. We got a lot more coming up. Hey guys, so we're coming down Moosilauke on the north end, and this is just a little flavor of what we're going down here. There's many wood planks that just are covering the really wet rock. We ascend like 2,000 feet in 1.5 miles. Actually, it's more than that. It's like 2,500 and like 1.2 miles or something. It's steep, so I'm taking this part really careful. The cool thing is this nice waterfall, which I'll probably show. Maybe I can get a better glimpse of it. But it follows you down, which is really neat. All right, well, I'll see you guys about. This is what has been basically running down with us the entire time, coming down Moosilauke. Pretty sweet. Don't want to sit down there though. All right, so we're almost at the summit of Kingsman, and this is the view that I have. Oh my gosh. How can you not love New Hampshire? Oh, wow. So climbing up here, we're literally climbing. No trekking poles, on all fours. Oh man, is it beautiful. Yep. It's going to be hard to beat New Hampshire. So we came
from that way. We cross those power lines down there. I think that's Mount Moosilauke right there. Wow. All right, well, we're going to keep on going. This is what we're going up. Woo! We are on the top of Kingsman. Wow! We're above tree line right now. It's probably only about 15 or 20 mile per hour winds. It's nothing bad, but perfect weather. Check that out. Wow. Man, I love New Hampshire. Hey, good morning everyone. Today is day 82. We are in the White Mountains, and we ended up going to, what was the name of the campsite last night? Kinsman Shelter. So 21 total miles, and it was amazing. I am absolutely loving New Hampshire. I'm loving the whites. I rolled into camp about 7:15, and I wanted to go further, but there was no assured stealth site, so I just decided to stay in the shelter. There was a chance of thunderstorms last night. It never happened, so I didn't have to deal with packing up a tent. So far, the whites, unlike anything we've done so far. So the ascents are pretty steep. Moosilauke wasn't bad, but Kinsman was steeper than I probably have climbed so far. It was fun. The descents are probably where I lose the most time in my pace. You just have to be really careful going down a lot of these descents. They're steep, very rocky, very rooty, and you just have to be really careful, especially with the wet rocks. A lot of visitors here in the Whites, a lot of groups. I think I passed 4 or 5, no, probably more than that, probably close to a dozen camp groups. It's kind of amazing that there's 10 to 12-year-old kids out here hiking this kind of terrain. But at the campsite last night, most of the people that were there were groups. We're going to come up to our first hut. That is just after Kinsman. I got on the trail about 7:30. The section between Moosilauke and Kinsman, going up Wolf Mountain, looks really easy on the map, but that was probably the crummiest trail that we've been on the entire AT so far. It was probably my least favorite. It wasn't well maintained. It was what I imagined parts of Maine to be. It was just, you couldn't get any rhythm. It was tough. Just big roots, tons of mud just everywhere, rocks everywhere. Yeah, I think I was averaging 2 miles an hour, maybe even under that, through that section. So that I was happy to get out of that section. Kind of interesting. So the northbounders, like me, the northbounders have this like distaste, in my opinion, of southbounders. I've heard so many different northbounders say to southbounders about how hard everything is coming up, and that the southbounders have only gone through 200 miles of real mountains, even though they were tough. There's 700 miles of mountains in the south, and there's a couple, older couple guys that summited Moosilauke yesterday, and we're saying, "Oh, this ain't bad, man. What are all these southbounders talking about?" And I'm just thinking, like, dude, you know, we're not even really in the whites yet. Like, just wait. But man, a lot of these northbounders are just really, really cocky. I don't think I'm a part of that group. So
it's just interesting though. But it's just weird. They just, I don't know. I've heard from many southbounders that as well, but I actually seen it now. So, but I'm gonna stop at the hut. You can get, I guess, some bakery goods for $1, and if you want, you can get leftovers from breakfast if you want to do dishes or something. I don't think I'll do that, but I want to fill up my water. And today is going to be a big question mark. There's supposed to be a chance of thunderstorms, and today's the day. Our next mountain that we're going to climb is Lafayette, and there's a 6-mile section that you're above the tree line, so I have to be very careful before I decide to do that stretch. I need to have at least a 3.5-hour window, 4 preferably, just to get through there safely. So we'll see what happens, but I'm absolutely loving this stuff. This is great. I'm having so much fun. I can't wait for what's next. All right, guys, I'll check back later in an update.
All right, so we're on top of Little Haystack right now. The peak was just back there, but we don't have the same views that we did yesterday when we were on top of Kingsman and Moosilauke. So we're on our way to Lincoln, and then after that's Lafayette. We are above tree line right now. It's supposed to storm in about 3.5 hours, so I don't want to be hanging around for too long. But we'll see how the weather plays out. I'll be way past Lafayette by then. But it is kind of cool up here though, with this being up in the clouds right now. And when we get to Lincoln, we'll be above 5,000 feet for the first time since we were in the Grayson Highlands. So kind of cool. All right, well, maybe we'll get a break and have some sun come out and see if we can get a little bit of a view on Lafayette. All right, Bigfoot out. So we just summited Lafayette. This is pretty much what the roads are like. Winds are starting to pick up. But it's still pretty cool. Hey everyone, it's approaching 5 o'clock here, day 83, and we are about 18.5 miles in for the day. Maybe 19, I'm not really sure, but it's supposed to start storming at 5. I made it way past Lafayette, which before it stormed. So that was my first goal, is just get past that open ridge line. So there's a hut coming up here, and although I didn't think I was going to do this, I'm going to see if I can do a work for stay, just because I don't feel like climbing one last mountain. It'd be, after the hut, it's about 1,100 more feet, and I'm pretty tired, and would love to eat some hot food, and it's not even 5 o'clock yet, so it's early for me, and I would have to stay tomorrow and do dishes and stuff, but I know I could make up time. Tomorrow there's really only one climb for the big chunk of the day, first half of the day. That's South Peaks or something, and then we go down for a while, and my goal is to try to make it up maybe 10 miles up the ridge. So Saturday morning I could summit Mount Washington, maybe like 10-mile hike or something. But we'll see if there's any space left at the hut. If not, I'll stealth camp somewhere around there at a minimum, I'm hoping they have lemonade and some bars and stuff like they did at the hut this morning for sale. So, all right, well, I'll let you guys know what happens. Bigfoot out. Hey, good morning, everyone. Today is day 84, I believe, and we ended up staying for work for stay at the Galeville hut. You can just barely see it down there. That's where I came from. And had an awesome dinner last night. There was only about 14 people that were staying at the hut. So it's a capacity of 38, so there was more food. And all I had to do this morning for chores was just sweep the bunk rooms and the main dining room. And that was it. Fold a couple blankets. So totally worth it. I got in about a half an hour before the severe weather. Perfect timing. Now we got some clear weather to be able to really see, get some great views. So you can see Mount Lafayette right over there in the thick of the clouds where we came from yesterday. Went down that ridge line over Garfield and then all the way down to the hut. We're going up South Twin Mountain right now, 1,100 foot climb in about 0.8 of a mile. This is a nice little view here, so I stopped. But goal is to get to Misc, which is just below the ridge line. There's a 12-mile open ridge line as you summit Mount Washington. That'll be just below it. So it's supposed to be some later thunderstorms this evening. I want to get there way before then. So, but yeah, it was a great night. Slept well, ate well, both dinner and breakfast. So I'm fully recharged. All right, well, I'll see you at the top of the mountain. All right, so we're on top of Twin Mountain here, and got a great view of yesterday's climbs, going Liberty, Lincoln, and Lafayette, Garfield right there. A lot better views than we had yesterday. North Twin is just that way, and we're heading that way right there. So we actually have a really easy climb down to I think it's Crawford Gap, something like that, and then we'll start our ascent going up, heading to Mount Washington. So I guess there's a part of the trail that used to be an old railway, so it's well maintained. But look at those incredible views. That is just spectacular. Wow. Good afternoon, everyone. We are on top of the Webster Cliffs. I think that's 302 right down there. And we are on our way to summit Mount Washington. Still got quite a climb. We're only at about 3,000 feet right now, but got a great view. I'm going to stay at the Misc campsite tonight and then summit Mount Washington tomorrow morning. God, the mountains are beautiful. I think that's Lafayette out that way. And we would have came down here, down to 302, and then on up. Weather's great. We've had really good visibility today. We've really only climbed one mountain, that was Twin Mountain, until we got here. So we got a lot more to climb. The elevation of Mount Washington is 6,300 feet, second highest peak on the AT, which makes it about a 5,000 foot climb from 302 all the way up. Where I'm staying tonight is at elevation 3,800. I got about another 1,000 feet to climb, or just under. All right, let's keep on going. Hey guys, so we're in the Presidential Range, going up to Jackson, and these climbs are pretty standard so far. Summiting, getting closer to Mount Washington. So, some technical climbs, but definitely worth the views, and it's amazing. All right, here we are, guys. We're on top of Mount Jackson. We're about 4,000 feet. Going to Misc Shut tonight. Misc Hut and Campground. 1.7 miles from here. We'll get there probably around 7 or just after. Hey man. And that's where we're going. First clear look of Mount Washington. Right on.
Good morning, everyone. Today is day 85, and we are just about to get to Mount Eisenhower. I was able to get a work for stay at the Misc Hut. Worked out great. Had a great dinner, and I did dishes and stuff last night, so I didn't have to do anything this morning. So I got on the trail just before 7 o'clock, but this is what it looks like so far. So really hope that things burn off, and in the next couple hours I'll probably be on Mount Washington in 2 to 2.5 hours. But yeah, you can't see hardly a thing right now, which kind of stinks. But have faith, and it is it's not too windy, maybe like 10-15 miles per hour winds, and it's cool, perfect weather for what I'm doing. There was only one other guy that was doing work for stay last night, and the Misc Hut, it was a lot bigger than the Galehead Hut. I think it actually, I don't know how many people at house, but it had a library and maybe 10 bunk rooms, so it was probably double or triple, probably triple the size of Galehead. So we stayed in the library last night, which was nice because we didn't have people waking up, going to the bathroom and shining lights on us and stuff, so it was good. All right, well, I'll see you guys on top of Mount Washington. All right, guys, we're at the Lake of Clouds hut. This is the biggest hut. House is like 100 people, and this is the infamous dungeon. This is where hikers can stay for like $10. So I wanted to kind of show you. This is a concrete slab, and you got 6 little bunks here. So, yep, that's why they call it the dungeon. All right, well, it looks like we're going to have nothing but what it looks like right now all the way up to Washington, so kind of sucks. All right, well, I might have to put my raincoat on because it's getting a little chilly. So I don't know what the temperature is, but it's probably like 50. All right, let's get up there. All right, we're almost at the summit. So here is, I believe, the science station where the scientists that monitor weather on top of Mount Washington. And there is hardly any visibility. You can see the towers. I have absolutely no clue where I'm going because I can't see absolutely anything. Oh, looks like it's this way. Wow. We're here. So we're on the summit. This is how a lot of the folks get up here.
I think I looked a little more harder than that. Here's a couple pictures of me at my summit. Pretty sweet, so I think it's time for me to go hit the snack bar. It's a little chilly out here, as you would expect. Pretty damn cool. Alright. Hey guys, so we're about a mile from, geez, I can't remember what hut it is, but it's the last hut in the presidential range on the north side. But this is exactly what the entire north side of the ridge has been like, just rocks, millions and probably billions of rocks. So it's hard to get any sort of rhythm. And this has been my weather all day. So gotta keep on moving because it does get a little chilly if I stop. Well, Madison Hut, that's what it was called. Alright, we should be at Madison Hut within half an hour. Alright everyone, so we are coming down Madison Mountain and I can finally see something. So we're almost below 5,000 feet for the first time in many miles, and we're almost out of the presidential range, and we're actually starting to get below the cloud line. So feels kind of nice.
Hey, good evening everyone. It's the evening of day 85. So I started the morning at Misc Hut, and obviously I ascended Mount Washington today, and I ended up going through the rest of the presidential range and was able to make it all the way to Pinkham Notch, which is about mile marker 1870, so it was about 20 miles today. And I'm staying here in Gorham, New Hampshire. I'm actually just at my laundromat that's down the street here, trying to get some laundry done. It's getting late tonight, but I got in at about 6 p.m. I think I got done with the trail. Actually, I got done with the trail right at 6 p.m. So it was a really magical day, something I've been looking forward to for a long time, being able to summit Mount Washington. And most of you already know, maybe some don't, but Mount Washington is known for being the place that has some of the worst recorded weather ever on Earth. And we were up there today. It was great. There was this Seek the Peak run today that there were a bunch of people running up to Mount Washington, up the presidentials. So there was some extra traffic than normal. But I was able to get up there, and I think there was only like 5 people that I had to wait for to get their picture taken at the sign, the summit sign. I've heard some hikers say they've had to wait 20 or 30 minutes just to get their picture taken, so I was happy I didn't have to wait that long. But I spent about an hour on the summit, and there's a snack bar up there. There's a museum that talks about the weather and the observation tower that's up there, and the day that they recorded 237 mile per hour winds. Back in 1937, that's the highest recorded wind speed by man. There has been a higher recorded wind speed, but it was by an instrument that was not manned. So, but anyway, going down the presidential range on the northern side was probably the toughest climb, descend down on the trail so far, and I'm just judging that based on how my body felt. You basically are rock scrambling millions and millions of boulders. I know I showed some videos of what it looks like. It's like that from the top of Mount Washington down past Mount Monroe, down below the tree line, which is I don't know, maybe 7 miles, 8 miles, I'm not really sure, but it was just really tough. You can't get any rhythm You can't go fast because you're literally the entire time, unless you completely stop, you are just looking at your footwork, trying to figure out where the next place to place your foot. I was using my trekking poles as well, just for some added stability. So it was, it took a lot of time, and for the first time on the AT, when I got below the tree line, my body was really aching. My knees were actually aching. I haven't really had any problems with any pains, any soreness, really like I felt today after I did the northern part of the Presidential Range. So definitely wasn't not my favorite descent on the trail, but totally worth going up Mount Washington. For the folks that thought that PA was really bad with the rocks, PA is absolutely nothing on the northern part of the Presidential Range, in my opinion. So it's 85 to 85. We only have about 20 miles, not even 20 miles left of the White Mountains. All we have left is called Wildcat Mountain. It's a ski mountain, and it's just a steep climb up tomorrow that I'll have. I think in one part we go up 800 feet in 0.4 miles. So it's just a lot of climbing. I don't know how rocky it is. I'm sure it's probably rocky. But the descent is very gradual, nothing like today, so that will be nice. But I expect to be in Maine in 2 days, which would be day 87, which will give me basically about 13 days to get through Maine. But ever since I've gotten through I'm through really the toughest part of the White Mountains. I'm almost through the White Mountains, which is, most people say, is the toughest part of the trail. And I've been able to average 20-mile days, sometimes a little more. I think I did 21 or 22. And I did a couple of work for stays, so I stopped early. And if I can do that kind of mileage through the Whites, I'm not really worried about being able to do the same mileage through southern Maine. And then the rest of Maine, I'll just have to probably do mid-20s, maybe a 28 or 29 here or there, which is going to be totally doable. But definitely feel great about my chances of finishing the trail in 100 days or less. So, but it's been an awesome experience in New Hampshire. New Hampshire is by far my favorite state. I would love to come back to be able to go to Mount Washington when I can actually have better views, but it's just amazing. So I don't know, I'm planning on stopping 2 more times for resupply after I resupply here in Gorham. One will for sure be in Monsoon, which is right before the 100-day wilderness, and the other one will be somewhere around the 2,000-mile mark. I haven't really looked at it yet. I know there's a couple towns, but anyway, it's getting close. I have less than 320 miles left. It's crazy. So, all right, well, I feel good. I'm going to sleep great tonight, and totally huge success. Feel very good about how I did and how I feel, and what I was able to do in the White Mountains and what I was able to experience. So this is Bigfoot signing off here in Gorham, New Hampshire, day 85, and getting ready for Maine. Bigfoot out.